into week 1 of April. So March was a 5-week turn-in. We want to remember that most months are not a 5-week turn-in. So in terms of April and in terms of Family First Life, April begins today. So happy April, everybody. And it's going to be a 4-week turn-in. So just important to note that the month is going to end in terms of Family First Life on April 27th. So if you didn't already have that written down before today, definitely write that down so you can make sure you're properly, going about those goals that you want to hit this month. And I just want to, before I bring Maddie on, I do just want to say there's so many people within this team that I know can do what I do every day, can do what Zach does every day, can do what Christina does every day, what Landon, what you name it. You can do what the person's doing, but it's what's holding you back, right? And, Paul did a call earlier with, some of the people in the group, and he brought up, a point that really just kind of resonated with me. So I wanted to go ahead and share it. And essentially what Paul was saying was, you say that you want to do ABC. You say you want to, you want to become a Hall of Fame producer. You want to help 20 families a month. You want to sign an integrity deal. You want to help 50 families a month. You want to, go backpacking. Whatever that is, but it's what are you doing to see a better result if you're not seeing the result that you want? And it resonated with me because I realized when I came into this business, it took me a very, very, very long time to actually reach out to people when I need help. And till this day, I'm guilty of not always reaching out when I need help. I also want to note that not everything is the house is on fire type of deal. And really what I mean by that is, I'm not saying call your upline 18 times a day, but if you don't communicate with your upline and they're trying to communicate with you and help you, but they don't know what you want, they can't help you. They don't know what you want, you're not communicating. But if you're there dialing the phones every day and you're working with Zach and you don't tell Zach that what happened on your dial day and he's reaching out, there's not a whole lot more that Zach can really do to help you. You have to reach out and you have to ask for that help. And I think that that's where a lot of us become stagnant, is when we don't want to ask for things. We don't want to ask for help. We can't shrink that ego, so to say, of, I already know this. Even if you already know it, or you know that you need to make more dials or whatever it is, sometimes it's another voice just being like, hey, dude, you got to do this, stick it out, and you can do it. Like, there's not one person on this team that I think can't help 20 families a month if that's what they want to do. It's about how bad do you want it and why do you want it, right? Like, when the why outweighs the how doesn't matter, right? And I get it, like, it's a grind. It's a grind, but it's do you want, not for the month of April. What do you want for this year? What do you want for the following year? What do you want out of the opportunity, just generally speaking? Because I know that what I've wanted out of this opportunity has changed over the time that I've been here, and that's normal. But if you don't know what you want, you're not going to get there. And I know we can all get there. So again, I'm just encouraging everybody to really just like reach out. Like, you're not annoying. Like, people come, I know I'm annoying. And it's like, you're not annoying. You're actually annoying if you don't call. And I don't know you need help until 4 weeks later when you're like, I sat with 50 people and they all told me no. And I'm like, but I texted you like 4 times and called you, and I haven't heard from you. At that point, nobody can help you go back in those 50 homes. So take the coaching. There's so many people within Family First Life, your upline. Like, I know that speaking on this personal team, your upline wants to help you, like they do, or they've convinced me otherwise anyways, but I know that I want to help you. Christina wants to help you. I know that anyone who's hiring, they wouldn't be hiring if they didn't want to help you. So just remember that when it's hard to reach out. Like, just always, always, always remember that. And it can be hard to reach out because you might sound like, I'm complaining. There's a difference between a complaint and a concern. Hey, I'm not sure what I could have done better. This is what I did. That's not a complaint. That's a concern. If you call, hey, I don't even know if I can do this. I talked to 10 people and they all told me that they didn't fill it out. Like, okay, chill, first of all. Second of all, like, okay, how many dials did we make? right? Like, what are you saying? Hit me with your intro. But we can't do any of that unless you're letting us know on the front end or while it's happening. So don't ever be scared to reach out while it's happening. And sometimes, you might find yourself like, is this a concern or a complaint? And, it might be both. And that's okay, as long as you're not complaining every day, because the complaint department, I think they closed a while ago. Christina told me that they closed. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There was never a complaint department. But my whole point is reach out to your
Complaint department is definitely closed. Shut down.
So my whole point is reach out to your upline for help. They want to help you. Make sure you have goals and make sure they're written down. And if you're like, I've been reaching for this goal, I'm not sure how to get there, write down how you think you should get there, and then call your upline and say, hey, this is what I got going on. What do you think? And actually execute on the plan, right? Because again, no one can help you if you're not executing. And sometimes we can sit there and be like, well, I don't want to dial because I'm nervous. That's a time that you should text your upline and be like, hey, Zach, I'm really nervous. I don't want to dial. I'm freaking out because Melissa told me to go fly a kite, and that was the first person I called today. Okay, I guarantee you that he can bring you back down to earth, because that happens to us too. Like, it happens to everyone. So just remembering it's not personal, reach out, reach up, and have clear, definitive goals. So I just wanted to kind of hit the call off with that, just because I know that there's so many people on this call, and so many of you too that I'm proud of that are finally breaking out of their shell. Like, just to name a couple, like Landon, Valerie, like, you guys have been really stepping it up, and like, trust me, everyone's noticing. So it's awesome to see. I'm really, really proud of you guys. But without further ado, we're going to have Miss Maddie on with us today. So super excited to have Maddie on with us. Through working with Maddie, it's been, my pleasure. And really, Maddie's just always talked about the hiring email makes sense, but you got to read it. And how, it's 2022 and not everybody reads the email, right? Even though we want them to. Like, if you hired anyone, they probably don't read the email unless you go tell them to go read it. So Maddie's put together a wonderful website for both people in pre-licensing and people that are licensed and getting started, so they can really just go through some automated steps. And I don't want to take away from Maddie, but I do want to say that, and Maddie, I hope you don't get upset that I say this. So Maddie had a school project that she needed to make a website. And Maddie has been on, like, the email makes sense, so we can put this all in one place. So what Maddie decided to do was mix school with work, and it beautifully came about, and she took some more extra time into this. So without further ado, I just want to bring Maddie on. And Maddie, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. So super excited about the website, super excited to have you on today. I know you're going to crush it. And just kind of walking us through kind of what this looks like and why. So if you want to just go ahead and kind of hit it off with why you did it, and then just get right into it. All you, Maddie.
I'm a college student. I go to Cal State University San Marcos, working in Paul McLean's office. I commute 2 hours to San Diego to go to school, but I had this business marketing class because I'm a business marketing major with an emphasis on communications, procuring my bachelor's degree. And it was like, make a website. And I was like, well, I don't really travel, so I can't do it on travel because I travel for work, or I can't do it on this because I'm at work. So I was like, you know what, 2 birds, 1 stone. And I got the idea because I'm so tired of people not reading my email. So I made something that was visually appealing. It's literally a click, step. I have officially guided, directed, and pointed people in the right direction to where they don't have to worry about reading anything. All they have to do is click, fill out the information, click, fill out the information. So I really do hope that from a recruiting standpoint, getting people started is a little bit faster because it could be accessible laptop or mobile, and B, that it's just a little bit less confusing for people to start. That was my goal, my why.
Awesome. Well, you absolutely crushed it. You kept it nice, simple, to the point, but nice and clean too. So go for it, Maddie.
Awesome. Okay. Let me move this. So here we have, okay. So here we have it, Family First Life, the Solidity agency. This is the homepage. So this is just a new agent getting started guide, followed by all of the beautiful logos that we are accumulating on this team. So here you can press pre-licensing or license. So you kind of have the option to toggle which with what pathway you're going to be putting someone on. So just to kind of get started with the pre-licensing, you'd want to press here. You can also press up here. These are the steps that are required to complete the onboarding process. Our goal is ultimately to get you licensed, trained, and protected families within 30 days. So the first step for anyone in pre-licensing is going to be getting into the Excel Solutions course. We do have a coupon code made available to where that these people can get it for free. So it kind of alleviates that $200 initial cost going in, since they do have to pay for their state examination, fingerprints, and the application itself. So right here, they can click and it would take them directly to the page to enroll in their course. Remove this. And then here's the instructional guide. So you would just go to prepare to pass. They don't even have to type this in now. Like on the form of the email, they would have had to physically type this in and then read this flyer, but that's too difficult. So now they have a button. And then the bundle can be selected in both English or Spanish. And then these are the 3 primary options. Usually for me, when I am personally recruiting, I don't navigate anybody towards the health only. I do tell them to do the life only because it is an accumulation of 32 hours of screen time, and they can do the life and health bundle as well. However, I do want them to know, for the purpose of an incentive, if your upline is providing them an incentive, that would be 52 hours of screen time. So if they're trying to get that lead credit bonus, if there is an incentive made available, just keep in mind that the life and health is a little bit longer. Here's the discount code. They can directly copy and paste that into when they're enrolling into Excel Solutions. And they would just make a new student account and then do the pre-licensing course in under 30 days. They have 30 days to complete it. So you do want to make that a note on the phone. So though that this is here for onboarding, you do want to just kind of keep that in mind if you are speaking to somebody, whether cold market or warm market, that you're directly letting them know that they only have 30 days to complete this course. And if they want to prolong the process into 40, 50, it is like a $39 extension if they want to extend the course out. Step 2 for any pre-licensed person is taking the state examination. So right here, same thing, you just press it. Takes you directly to every state on how to obtain your license in both English and Spanish. So they can just collect on California or click on California, how do I get my license? California is through PSI. So then they can press the hyperlink here. It takes them directly to PSI to where they can go and schedule their life-only agent examination or life and health. And then I also made this to where it kind of has, you know, the instructions. You want to click on your state, locate the hyperlink, create your new account, and book your examination. And if you do need assistance, then you can contact your direct manager, and they can revert back to the homepage where all the direct managers are listed with their contacts. Fingerprinting. A lot of people ask me where to go to get fingerprinted. This is an awesome resource because I don't know. I'm in California. I don't have all the places memorized by heart, so it's already done for you. If you're in Alabama, there's 43 companies apparently. And then these are all the counties in which they have everything. So if you're in Birmingham, here's 4 options. You know, I'm going to go here because it's close to me. Perfect. This is where I go. This is how I contact. NIPR.com. Everybody has to do this. So this is the last step. You just want to go to the online application. So it's pretty much just made available to where all they have to do is just click and go. Same thing here, last step, even though right here, this is something that I would say on the phone. So after they apply for their state license, it is going to take the state, no matter what state it is, a few days to get back to you. So in the meanwhile, I do lead people towards completing the weekly training schedule, and that is ongoing, as we all know, each and every week, as well as being on the team call and then just plugging into the new agent boot camp because they do have that week of downtime waiting for their license to get approved. So what better time than then to get training completed? And then, so that's pre-licensing, and then licensed. The goal is to get a licensed agent in the field within 1 week. Let's get putting that license to some good use and start protecting some families. Right here, HCMS. So though step one dives right into HCMS from a hiring standpoint, for those that are putting people in HCMS, you do want to send the invitation. So how you would do that is by actually going to the top. There's like a plus sign, and then you'd hit add invitation or new request. And then you'd want to type in the person's information because they do need that invitation to be sent on email separately. But here it kind of just directs them to go directly to HCMS to fill out the information. Sorry, to fill out the information that they would be getting. So right here, it will take them directly to HCMS. I'm an admin, so it takes you to my HCMS, but on the website, if you press it, it won't do that. But this is what they should be receiving from someone that does put them in HCMS. So this is kind of just an infographic that shows, hey, your separate emails coming from me directly on HCMS. So usually they should be getting the invitation to HCMS as well as an invitation to Slack. Same thing with pre-licensing. Everybody should be put into Slack, and that's a separate email. And if you don't know how to put someone into Slack and send them an invitation, you can text me and I'll be able to show you or send you a little screen share of how to do it. But you do want to send these emails separately. This website is just here to kind of show you, okay, I've sent you these 3 emails, now go to the website because this is where you're going to click to go to fill out your information. So this isn't the only email that you have to send or the link. This just kind of navigates them on the process, if that makes sense. And then the second step is submitting contract appointments with the carriers. And this does require E&O. If it's a licensed agent that's been working in the field, usually they do have E&O, and all they have to do is just upload their certificate in SureLC. But if they don't, then here is also the hyperlink. They can press this. It takes them directly to NAPA to where they can select what kind of bundle they want. And then same thing here. SureLC takes them directly to the page to where all they've got to do is fill out all this information and then create their contracting. And when you are on the phone, you do want to let them know who their direct upline is, because they will need to fill that out here. So though this website doesn't say who their direct upline is, because it is a multifaceted hiring website, you do just want to communicate that on the phone that, hey, I'll be sending over this website to you, and make sure that you do know that my name is your upline. So that way they know what to put there. Step 3, same thing, completing training and plugging in. So they do want to, while they submit off, HCMS can be completed and the SureLC within the same day. It's going to take a couple of days for the appointment request to come in. So in the meantime, I would tell them, step 3 is just to be able to plug into training, waiting on everything to come in. Same thing, new agent bootcamp, virtual sales training is here along with the password. Pretty much the same training for either a pre-licensed agent or a licensed agent, but you do want to hit on the phone the emphasis of training and how if you're not plugging in, it can make or break your business. It's really good to just plug in this business especially. So while they're completing training, they also do need to revert back to this email or this link or this website to make sure that they're following up with the carrier. So oftentimes from a hiring standpoint, I have a lot of people that will submit off carrier requests and they don't hear back from the carrier for like a week or 2 weeks. So here it makes it super accessible to where they have every point of contact that they need to call the carrier. And on the phone, it's important to emphasize that they do need to call these carriers back within 3 days, business days or so after submitting off their contracts, just because you want to follow up and do your diligence to make sure that everything was submitted off successfully. And if not, let's fix that so we can get you out in the field faster and not prolong the process any further. And then here, they do need to update it to the HCMS profile as a missing carrier. And right here is actually the instructions. So even if you don't know, you can revert back to this website, because I wouldn't know off the top of my head this exact process. So you can definitely just utilize it as a cheat sheet as well from a recruiting standpoint. So when they go into HCMS, they'll want to hit add carrier, missing carrier, put in the writing number, select the carrier that you have that agent code with, and then add your agent code. And then you do that for all 4 carriers. So that way HCMS is kind of aligned with everything else. That's really important. Step 5 is a mandatory training week. So this is something that was newly implemented, but it's really important to hit on because it does help a new agent get ready to hit the field. It kind of provides that ground structure that they do need for in-home because 9 times out of 10, you want to make sure that you're going into the home with like a role and a purpose and a why. So these calls are designated to kind of prepare you with that. So Monday is the winning mindset, and it's hosted by, either Paul, Yori, or Rami. Thursday, same thing, in-home sales process with Marisa. Who better than Marisa herself to go over an in-home? She's in homes every single day practically. Thursday, team call. And then right after the team call, the time kind of aligns with me. I hop on to the basics of being a successful agent, which is the tools of the trade call. It's quick, it's short, it's easy, it's to the point, but it navigates new agents to printing out dial sheets, financial inventories, all the important phone scripts. If they're using final expense, okay, go to FFL Solidity, let's print off some final expense phone scripts. And then Sunday. So instead of having 80 lead strategy calls a week, we now have condensed it into just one, and it's usually rotated through uplines and leaders. And there is a registration required to join the lead strategy call. So if you don't have it, it is a drop form. And if you're hiring, that's really important to make sure you're sending out with a new agent that wants to be on the lead strategy call. It's hosted on Sundays at 12 o'clock Pacific time, or 9 o'clock Pacific time and 12 o'clock Eastern time. So this is just really important to make sure that once they're completing the training that they do hit kind of all of these calls, because it will help them the week prior before they anticipate dialing and getting into the field. And then the last thing, registering for the lead strategy call. So actually you don't even need the link, it's right here. It takes you to the job form. You can have that new agent put themselves in here. That way, whoever's hosting the call, whether that be Marisa, Christina, Zach, Yori, they have the information and they know who's attending the call. And this is even a pretty little infographic that does walk through the times, how to access it with the where to go for the hyperlink, as well as the password. And the lead strategy call is usually the last thing that an agent will hit on, because by then they have access to the CRM. This walks them through how to utilize the CRM. And usually they should be purchasing leads right after that call and hitting the field Monday to start a full-time producer schedule from there. So that's kind of it for that. There is a resources tab as well. So if you click here, it takes you to FFL Go, which I'm sure a lot of us utilize. It's really awesome. They've got carrier quotes, training podcasts, videos, all this awesome stuff. So that's just another thing that kind of new agents can hit on while they're here. Same thing, they can click here and it takes them to the FFL Solidity website. So for dialing, if they want a dial tracker, objection handling workbook, phone scripts, it's all here. So it's just a one-stop shop for our agents. And then that's pretty much it. And if you go to the homepage, I forgot. Here is kind of a lot of people that do work behind FFL, people that are hiring every day. So it does have their name, their title, and even their contact number. So if someone is on this website, they've got 10 people here to reach out to. So it's really cool that there's numerous points of contact for somebody that's starting out to reach out to any of these people that are probably hiring them and sending them this link to this website. So it kind of just gives a little bit of, hey, here's a face to the name that you just got in contact with. Welcome to the team. And then this is just for design standpoint. So if you want to go to the Chelmsford office, here it is. And here's some more points of contact. So that is pretty much the website. One thing too I want to hit on, because I jumped over this, right here is the company overview video. So prior to even sending this to somebody, if I'm on the phone with them, I do send them the company overview video, and I make it an emphasis that, if someone's not going to watch a 20-minute overview video, they're probably not going to complete a 32-hour course or 2 hours of contracting. So right here, they can actually click it and it takes them directly to watching that. And then same thing here, downloading Slack. So another thing I want to hit on, because we all utilize Slack, it's really important. It's how we communicate as an agency and stay interconnected, though we are all over the place. So it does just hit right here. The invitation should be sent on email, whether it's a pre-licensed person or a licensed person. If they said, hey, I'm ready to get started, they need to be put in Slack. So we put them in Slack. send them the email with this hyperlink to this website so that way they can begin onboarding. And then if they're licensed, that third email is going to be the separate invitation to HCMS. And then right here is an optional toggle, but they can press here to join the corporate's email blast. They click it, and then it asks for their name, their email, phone number, and then who's their direct upline. So it's really important to emphasize who you are if you're hiring, so that way they're not putting some random name right there. So they have the option right here to join corporate's email blast as well. And I think that's everything.
All right. Well, I know that that's huge for me to look at, and Maddie kind of like blew me away with it. It's essentially just kind of like your one-stop hiring place. So Maddie, thank you so much. You're amazing. Proud of you, and just proud of how this can help the team, because Maddie's truly like a team player. What I mean by that is like she'll help anybody on the team in a positive light, as you know, we all should, right? And as much as Maddie put this together to simplify it for herself, she put it together to simplify it for the whole entire organization. Maddie wants to see everybody grow, and she knows that the shoes that she's worn here at FFL, so to say, that there's certain things that would make that side easier, the recruiting side and just the hiring, growing side a little bit easier for everybody. And Maddie, I think you just really kind of drove it home. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for going over it. I appreciate it. And it will not go underutilized, that's for sure.